Hello, in this video I want to review the concept of using the formula for at least one. We begin with an example. It states the following. If a coin is flipped 3 times, compute the chance of getting at least one head. Well, if we want to calculate the probability, the easiest route is to apply the following formula. So the formula states the following. The probability that at least one item has property X is 1 minus the probability that none of the items have property X. So for our example, we're going to rewrite it as at least the probability that at least one outcome is ahead, and that's 1 minus the probability that none of the outcomes is ahead. So to calculate this, we have 1 minus the chance it's not ahead. It's not ahead means it's tails, so 1 over 2. And since we're flipping the coin 3 times, we raise it to the third power. Well, 1 to the third is 1. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And 1 minus 1/8 is 7/8. That's one of the quickest ways to get the answer. Otherwise, we would have to put a little more effort into deriving the answer. So first of all, we would have to find the sample space for all possible outcomes when flipping a coin 3 times. Here I use a tree diagram. So we flip the coin the first time, you get heads or tails. You flip the coin the second time, so if you get heads the first time, then you get heads or tails on the second toss. If you get tails, you get heads or tails on the second toss. And then you flip the coin the third time, heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, etc. We can use this tree diagram to find all of our outcomes in the sample space. So for example, one outcome would be you get 3 heads. So that's going to count as one outcome. Another outcome is 2 heads and a tails. A heads, tails, heads. Heads, tails, tails. Tails, heads, heads. Tails, heads, tails. Tails, tails, heads. And finally, tails, tails, tails. And I've listed all the outcomes here. So when you flip a coin 3 times, this is the exhaustive list of all the possible outcomes. There are 8 of them. And let's count all the outcomes that have at least 1 heads. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so we can then calculate our answer. 7 outcomes have at least 1 heads out of a total of 8. So we can see that this method requires extensive work versus just applying the formula. So my recommendation is whenever you see the phrase at least one, apply this formula to calculate the probability. Thanks for watching the video.